Hello, this is Pastor Derek Thomas of Living Witness Ministries. Welcome to the Word of Witness podcast. Spring is sprung here, and I want to wish you a happy spring. I'm excited about the new season. I'm excited about the new opportunity for change to come. I'm excited most about the significance of what spring means. Spring means so many different things to so many people, and in the midst of everything that's happening with the coldness of the winter season, with the hardship that's been faced, the one thing that I've been noticing, friends, is that the whole transition from the natural seasons of winter into spring are very similar to the transitions in season that we're being called upon in this hour to participate in our own lives. We've been living a winter season with everything that's been happening. We've been living a winter season with the proverbial wars and rumors of wars. We've been living in a winter solstice of challenges from every side. We've been living in the blizzard of war and rumors of war. We've been living in the bomb cyclone snowstorms of random acts of violence. And it's just been a very challenging time. But I'm excited because this is the manifestation of what the word says when it says to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And I really want to encourage us this week, friends. We've been dealing with a lot in the news cycles, and even here at the Word of Witness podcast, we've been dealing a lot with so many heavy topics week in and week out. Today, I just wanted to do the best that I can to keep it light and to take a look at everything that's happening through the lens of opportunity. And the lens of opportunity that we have is the lens of opportunity that springtime brings. Springtime brings about a new season of hope, because in the natural springtime, buds begin to sprout out of the snow. In the midst of the cold, we begin to see new life starting to form. As I looked out the window a few days ago in the backyard of our house, in the midst of the cold, I saw buds on the trees, and I got excited, and I began to rejoice and give God praise for the fact that even in the midst of conditions and environment that brought about death with so many things, with the extreme cold, opportunities are arising even now for new life to begin. And I say that, friends, to encourage you that even in the midst of the space that we're in right now, with all the negativity that's happening, there's new opportunity to bring forth life available. A simple word can make all the difference in the world. A kind gesture can change the trajectory of a person's day. We're called to be a blessing to one another. The question was asked rhetorically by Cain, am I my brother's keeper? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. This is a season for us to demonstrate the fact that we indeed are our brother's keeper, and that we indeed are being called to do better and to be better in this new season. Spring also brings about a time that many of us husbands dread, and that's spring cleaning. I know that as I look at our home and I see all that's happened, a lot of great things have happened. God blessed and provided for us to be able to build a small studio to do the podcast from here in the house. And while I'm thankful for that, stuff had to get displaced. In the space where the studio was put in the basement, stuff had to get displaced. And this is the season now of reckoning. This is a season where the stuff that got displaced gets moved to the top of the honey-do list. And while it's work, you know what? I welcome the work, because the work is a testament to the greater work that's been taking place and that took place in the colder season. And this is our time to do spring cleaning, because in the midst of this season of winter, I truly believe and know that in the midst of the natural sitting down because of the weather, God sat so many people down spiritually to take spiritual inventory. And he's gotten us to the point where there's a trove of things that he wants us to remove from our lives. Maybe he wants you to change the way that you think. Maybe he wants you to change how you speak. Maybe he wants you to change how you act in situations and circumstances. Because what needs to take place and what we have to understand is that we have the capacity to be the thermostat in situations by how we act, by how we speak, and by how we think. Because humans are communal by nature, meaning because humans have the capacity and the natural inclination to socialize, to herd, to pack. We're social beings, which means we have the ability to influence one another. And if we can influence one another in the positive, we can start offsetting so much of the negative rhetoric that's taking place in our world today. We're being called by God to truly be salt and light in a dying and sin-sick world. And that begins practically with us doing spring cleaning in our own minds, us doing spring cleaning in our own speech, us doing spring cleaning in our own actions. We begin to change the places that we go. We begin to change the verbiage that we use when we speak in situations. We begin to speak life into situations and purpose in our minds that all the rubbish, all the garbage, all the things that are piled up in our winter season, our season of coldness, we've resolved that we're going to take it out and get it out in anticipation of the ushering in of the new season and the life and the joy that's coming. We have to understand that like springtime, the spring cleaning and the change of season. I'm a big baseball fan, and one thing that's winding down now because opening day here in Milwaukee is this Thursday. In fact, opening day in Major League Baseball is this Thursday, and it just so happens that my two favorite teams are playing one another. My White Sox, because I'm from the Chicagoland area, that's my number one. My number 1A team is my Brewers here in Milwaukee, and they're playing each other. But the thing that I found interesting is that before they played each other, I've gotten a chance to kind of see the preview of coming attractions by watching spring training. Because what spring training does, friends, is it gives the viewer an opportunity to see the potential that the team has in the upcoming new season. And as I've been in prayer about the team that God has, that he's amassing on the field of play, which is the earth, I'm excited and I'm encouraged. Yes, we've gone through a challenging time. Yes, we've gone through a winter solstice of our souls. Yes, we've gone through the coldness and the not caring at so many different levels in our livelihood. But I'm excited because it's in spring training that we begin to exercise again. It's in spring training that we begin to put those skills back to work again and back in place to make a serious run. I'm looking forward to my boys this summer here in Milwaukee having a fantastic season on the north side, just as I'm believing that my boys in summer from the south side of Chicago are going to have a great season on the south side, because as I've watched both my teams in spring training, I'm encouraged because I see a lot of new talent. I see a lot of new faces, but what I see in both teams is a hunger and a desire to excel. And that hunger and desire to excel is the fuel that drives the spring season. It's the fuel that we, friends, have to use to drive this spring season, this new season in our lives. To everything, there's a season. We've had a season to mourn. We've had a season to be frustrated. We've had a season to sound off. We've had a season to wallow in self-pity. We've had a season to analyze and review our life choices. I truly believe, friends, that the season is now for us to turn the page and realize that it's getting back to the basics of loving and fellowshipping and being a living witness in all that we do, say, and think, that's going to usher in a season of phenomenal growth and expansion for the body of Christ first and foremost, and secondarily for our communities to be better. I know with the seasons that are coming that challenges may very well be present. But I'm just here right now to encourage you to be excited, because spring has sprung. And as we make up our minds to do the spring cleaning necessary, and we make up our minds to do the spring training necessary, we'll realize that with the ushering into a new season, we can expect new outcomes as we take new action. Embrace the new season Embrace the new opportunities. Take out the trash in your mind. Take out the stinking thinking. Take out the garbage speech. Take out the negativity and stay away from those things and resolve that this is going to be a new season in my life to make a difference and not harp on the old things, but to think, speak, and live in a way so that the new can take root and take flight in your life, in your community, in your city, in our nation, and in our world. To everything, there's a season and a time to everything under heaven. Friends, our time for transition is now. Thank you for joining me for this week's Word of Witness broadcast. I pray today's broadcast was a blessing to you. If it has been, please click on the QR code at the bottom of the screen. Also, please encourage others to subscribe to the channel and to tune in. We're striving to make a difference. We're striving to take the practical things of the world and to use the practical dynamics of the world and the situations that they bring and put a biblical perspective to them in the hopes that you live a life that truly reflects the God that I believe that you love. Until next time, this is Pastor Derek Thomas encouraging you to walk humbly, love deeply, and take full advantage of all the new and exciting opportunities that God is blessing you with in this new season. I'll see you next time. God bless.